Welcome, Invisible Car enthusiasts, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And tonight, oh boy, we are putting that last nail in the Brosnan coffin with our look back at his swan song for his era of the James Bond movies, Die Another Day. Yeah. So, in our text exchange last night, well, you were watching it. I'd watched it the night before. You kind of mentioned to me that you didn't feel this was as bad as The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah, I mean, granted, neither one is a good movie. But for me, this movie has a lot of flaws, but it doesn't have the big flaw that was Denise Richards.
Okay.
Who just fucked up every single scene she
was in. And that's a fair assessment. I mean, I can counter with the fact that Denise Richards doesn't show up until roughly about 45 minutes to an hour into the movie. I mean, the movie, The World Is Not Enough, had its own problems regardless.
Yeah.
But
you take a talent like Robert Carlyle,
yeah,
and make him look bored throughout the entire movie. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, I think they were just supposed to make him look sad because he's a tragic figure. Yeah. But the thing, like thinking back about that and thinking about how I was going to kind of posit my my conversation about this was there were a couple of weak positives with The World Is Not Enough. I mean, excluding Denise Richards. Yes, she is the hands down the worst Bond there's ever been. No one will argue with you on that. But I feel like there's some gorgeous cinematography in it. The whole Electra King thing is really good, actually. I liked how close they kept it. They didn't reveal that till much later on in the proceedings.
Right.
With Die Another Day, I feel like there was the seed for a really, really good Bond movie where Bond was, I mean, you keep that opening as kind of silly and as stupid as his capture was in that opening.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, it was pretty stupid. Yeah. No, I've just defeated everybody. Oh, look, there's the other army. I give up. I feel like having him get out of captivity and have that trauma carry him throughout the entire movie as he is on this one-man revenge trek. I think that would have made a great movie, and unfortunately, they kind of forget about that.
Yeah, I liked how they did kind of have that almost License to Kill type feel. Where,
yeah,
he's just going out for revenge. He's not. I mean, his 000 agent status is kind of revoked in this movie, but they don't really clarify it.
Yeah, they do that. They do that a lot in the Brosnan movies. I've noticed.
I like. Yeah, it seemed. I actually enjoyed a lot of the movie up to when he goes to the underground and it's like revealed the M is kind of supporting him. It's like, okay, now it's just like a standard Bond movie again.
Right. Well, it was treading a path moving towards that direction.
Yeah.
I feel like what first killed the movie for me was the fact that you're going to put your torture montage into your credit sequence and you're going to play that goddamn song.
Oh, that sounds
awful. Awful song. I mean, we talked about this on our podcast about honestly, it's the worst of the Bond songs. Die Another Day, My Madonna, is not even a good Madonna song.
No.
And it's just so out of place. And it felt, you are really ruining everything about this tense psychological and physical torture that Bond is being put through so you can do a dance hall theme.
Yeah, I didn't even understand what was the point of the Scorpions until they did that like kind of exposition part later on.
Oh, yeah, later on. Well, you get Scorpion. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's not going to matter in 10 minutes.
No.
It happened. Get over it.
And again, like I say this on the podcast. I like Madonna's. I think Madonna's got a beautiful voice. What they were doing with the whole like techno, like just auto tune, was just ruining everything.
A lot of that is, I want to say the album is American Life, or it could just be music. It's one of the two. The album she put out in 2000 was her last good album. After that, she lost her goddamn mind. And that is very evident in this. And this is when she started doing movies that she had no business being in. Her cameo in this was a little tough to take. It's almost like I had to remind myself. You know, like when you see a famous musician in a movie and you're like, oh God, what are they doing in a movie, let alone, a Bond movie?
Yeah, I mean,
and then you remember she's been acting in movies since at least 1985.
No, yeah, I mean, hell, I really like her in A League of Her Own.
League
of Their Own. And then, but in A League of Their Own, she plays a character. Here, she's playing Madonna, playing a character.
Right.
It takes you right out of the movie because, okay, yeah, it's Madonna.
Yeah, exactly.
It's clear Madonna.
Exactly. It's a really tough thing. The villains in this movie.
Two of the three villains.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. So we're starting with Toby Stevens because let's be honest. General Moon is not he barely features in anything other than the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And his gene therapy transformation to turn him white because
how do we have an Asian villain but not an Asian villain?
Yeah, why don't we? Who's available that can convey this character? How about Maggie Smith's son? Toby Stevens is in fact Maggie Smith's son, and it's like he's kind of like that. Really, I don't know. I might actually say he is a worse, less threatening Bond villain than Elliot Carver in the Brosnan series, because he carries wealth, but he's a little prig about a lot of it. That fencing, that extended fencing scene where it's tantamount to him just being a bad sport.
Yeah.
Which is really lousy, culminating at the very end into him looking like a transmorpher or one of those other terrible like Anchor Bay, or Full Moon Transformers ripoffs or Power Ranger ripoffs.
Yeah, when I was going to text you, I was like, that outfit he's wearing in that last scene. I think I said it was Power Rangers.
Yes, you did say it was Power Ranger. Yeah.
I was going to say Big Bad Beetleborgs, but I don't think you would understand that.
I actually would get that reference.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like the outfit you get when you order a Power Ranger suit through Wish.
Yes, exactly.
It's ridiculous, and it's hard to keep it. Sometimes when you just have maniacal rich dude, it's tough to keep it straight. It's just tough to take them very seriously. They need a menacing henchman, which this movie kind of has.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first off, how hard did you laugh when he said that? Oh, I based my looks on you. It's like, no, you didn't.
No, you did not.
Pierce and the Brosnan, thing is, even at his age, is stunningly handsome. You are an annoying little twit.
Right. Well, the thing is, too, is that I've seen Toby Stevens in other things. He was in Black Sails, which is a fantastic, prequel to Treasure Island.
Oh.
And he's fantastic in it. Right now, the name of the character is escaping me, and I can find it in 2 seconds here. But he's fantastic in it. He's menacing, very dangerous. Captain Flint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, he can do really well. I just find it was that the second he lost any of his Koreanness, he also forgot all that amazing martial arts prowess that he had at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, in most of in the beginning of the movie, most of his fighting was with weapons like the flamethrower and that like the giant.
Yeah, but when you fight the combat thing, it's like this guy like pretty much beat a man to death in a boxing, in a punching bag, just using kicks and stuff. And it was like, okay, I would have loved to have seen a callback to that, but nope. Let's just have that terribly animated shock effect. That like,
Well, I mean, talking about terrible animation, that's pretty much most of the CG in this movie.
oh my god, the special effects in this movie is, and I called this movie inept when I did my hashtag now watching on Twitter. There is so much on a technical aspect that is so wrong about this movie. A lot of the special effects look like video toaster. I called it digital toaster a couple days ago. It's video toaster. I found out and I corrected myself, which was essentially like a way that you can make your home movies and add special effects to them.
Yeah, it feels like they spent all their special effects budget on like, I don't know what they spent it on, like catering or something, because they certainly didn't have anything for special effects.
No, there's a lot of model work in this that you can tell. The ice hotel is definitely it's a model.
Oh yeah.
But like I feel like they did way more blue screen than they absolutely needed to, because for once they wanted to have Bond's face being shown in these things in a way that, we have the way to do it digitally now as opposed to just doing like regular, chroma key type stuff. And, this way you can see his face and not go, that's his stunt double.
As we did in World Is Not Enough. All right. Yeah.
Well, pretty much every Bond movie, it's like, okay, well, I'm glad their stunt double had a good time. But I mean, thinking about that and quite honestly, I'm thinking about it as I'm watching Casino Royale, which is next week's big movie. It's like I can understand that there is a need to have some stunt double stuff. There are stunts that they want that are so spectacular you can't ask your actor to do it.
Yeah.
Really, the most you can ask for is them to just please get in shape. I know it's tough for more towards the end to do any of that, but. Yeah, the effects in this movie are they're brutal, and it's capped off. I know that the tsunami scene, like where he's parasailing, the tsunami is bad because the blocks of ice floating in the water are very animated.
Yeah,
but it's that ice speeder thing. Yeah. When it goes off of the glacier and hits, it just falls back. It's a digital effect. They couldn't even use the model for it. It's so obviously a digital effect, and it hurts because there's so much money that goes into making these movies, and it's like they took a risk. It wasn't a good risk. I think Lee Tamori was not a good pick for this movie as well.
I mean, when they fired the missile at the satellite. Oh yeah, and I'm like, wow, that's a purely digital shot, and it looks at 100%.
Yeah. The best special effects are those you can't tell are special effects,
and you can tell every single one of these special effects.
It's
even the laser fight.
Oh my god! Oh, gee, you're talking the one with Mr. Kill?
Yeah,
A Name to Die For.
That whole laser fight was pointless and silly looking and just unnecessary, 100%.
Well, the other thing too is I feel like the choice to do a lot of like that it's pre-ramping.
Yeah,
I mean it's not as egregious as like in like 300 or Justice League, but it is pretty egregious that for the first time in a Bond movie they're not even transition shots and they're not action shots. It's like I need to move the camera from point A to point B.
Yeah, this is that like rapid zoom.
it's just it was like one of those things. It's like, oh, let's try this. That'll be fun. No,
Yeah.
stop doing that.
Let's do it again and again and again and again.
Stop doing it. The one-liners in this are as painful as they. I mean, nothing will top "Christmas Comes More Than Once a Year," but oh,
when Halle Berry has a better kill line, well, a better kill pun than Bond does. Like Bond's like, what was it? Try to fight gravity or something like that.
Yeah. You'll have to fight gravity. What does that even mean? That's not a thing that people say.
Yeah, hold on. I wrote in our text here. Time to face. Yeah, because he says time to face like my destiny.
Yeah.
And Bond says time to face gravity.
Yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't even gravity because he was caught by a parachute.
Yeah, he was like literally sucked into the jet engine. My issue with the Halle Berry kill line though was when she does kill Miranda Frost, I'm like, please don't say bitch, please don't say bitch, please don't say oh yeah. Why?
That wasn't good, but afterwards when Bond comes across the body, it's like, I think I broke her heart.
Yeah.
That was a better line.
But I'm like, why did you need to do? And it's been about 10 years since I've seen this movie, so I totally forgot about that. But for some reason, you got two women fighting, and, one kills the other, and she's like, bitch, what?
Yeah.
Stop that. You're supposed to be better than this.
Yeah.
All right. It brings us to Halle Berry as Jinx, the main Bond girl in this movie. I feel like they were so ramped up pre-production that they were going to get her own series, that they put the cart before the horse, and just it's almost like it feels a lot like Iron Man 2 in the way that Iron Man 2 is trying to sell you on the Avengers more than it is trying to be a movie about Iron Man, trials and tribulations and the board. Whereas this is the same thing. It felt like they're trying to sell you on Jinx. You've already, you've had Bond for 20 movies now. But now, we're going to bring this in.
Yeah. For a movie that was trying to sell Halle Berry as Jinx as a spinoff, they have Bond rescue her an awful lot.
Which is amazing because there are times in this movie where Bond is just goddamn inept. The whole thing where he allowed his gun to be taken by Miranda Frost, that is a Bush League rookie, not 00 designated error.
Especially since Miranda Frost, for like the entire movie up to that point, was like, stay on topic. I don't like you. Do your job. And it's like, mwah, mwah, mwah. And then turns on him. Wow, didn't see that coming.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it was like there was no build up to it. We just knew that she was a member of MI6 with a very brief chat with M, which I felt like she is only there to put Michael Madsen in his place. That is like the only thing Judi Dench had to do in this entire movie.
I mean, I liked seeing her put Michael Madsen in his place. I think she should do it more often.
All right, so this is another thing too, and I know you haven't seen the Kill Bill movies, which they came out. Kill Bill came out the year after this. Michael Madsen is terrible as an authority figure. He's great as kind of like a down on his luck alcoholic assassin.
I honestly, in this movie, I thought that's who I thought he was.
He may as well have been. Tarantino knows how to use him to his strengths and make him feel creepy. And this, he's just a suit. Yeah. He's just a suit who's going to complain about how the Brits do things. What do you mean you only toast your bread on one side? What's up with that? That's not bacon. That's ham. Why are you
Yeah.
calling it? What is with these beans? What is with these beans? These beans with the tomato sauce. It's what? Yeah. Uh, it's yeah. But Halle Berry is just like. And I said this to you, and I kind of want to rephrase it in a way that isn't like. I don't think she's a terrible actress at all. I think she's a very good actress, and to this day is still the only black actress to have won Best Leading Actress in a movie at the Oscars. But trying to get her to get a franchise going is like, I think we need to, I know we have moved on, but I feel like we showed her infinite patience.
Yeah.
Because she left after this, she left the X-Men series because she wanted something else. And the Broccoli's going to offer her Jinx. She had Catwoman. She had it made. And then crawling back to do X3.
Yeah.
Where her character didn't really get much of anything new to do. And then when she shows up again in Days of Futures Past, she might have 3 lines of dialogue in the entire movie. Maybe?
Yeah. Closer. Yeah.
I remember that being like, wow, she is not even an entity in this thing.
Yeah. I don't hate her as Jinx. I mean, when you're coming off the heels of it, like Michelle Yeoh,
yeah,
then I mean, there's really no comparison there.
No, I fully agree with you. I feel like they back the wrong action star.
Yeah, but I mean, even like Michelle Yeoh, they made her an equal to Bond. Jinx was not an equal to Bond. Jinx needed to be rescued by Bond multiple times.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
And like the whole thing with the on the island that hospital thing. But by the way, let's have a hidden entrance to this place where we completely change the looks of really these super villains. Let's have it guarded by a camera that you can unplug pretty easily, and let's have it open. Have the secret door opened by the one square that's completely different than everything else in the mural.
Also, I really enjoyed your text message with, oh, great, another space laser.
Yeah. Was this like the third kick of the can there? And they've done it well, I think, once?
I'm trying to think. Okay, so for weapons that are operated in space, so this one, GoldenEye,
and Moonraker.
I want to say that there might be another one in there somewhere.
I wouldn't at all be. I think there might have been, but obviously it wasn't memorable enough for us to remember.
Yeah.
I think the only one they've really kind of done well is GoldenEye.
Yeah, and that's mainly because it's not so much a space laser more than a electro pulse magnet, you know.
Yeah. But this was just stupid, and the whole like melting the ice palace. It was obviously they were just destroying a model. It didn't even look real.
No, it's the ice palace in and of itself is a stupid concept to begin with.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of goddamn lasers that are apparently in there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they were used to construct and sculpt and everything like that, but it's still ice. It's still frozen water.
I do love the fact that he says, "Oh yeah, we'll use this for peaceful purposes only, to help crops grow." I'm like, it's a space laser.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's a space laser.
It's literally a space laser. That's how lasers work.
It's a peace-loving death ray.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we We're going to make our enemies. We're going to make them fall to their knees peacefully, of course.
Yes,
Bashing their skulls in with love. Yeah. All right. The gadgets in this movie. There's a goddamn invisible car in this movie, Mike. There's a goddamn invisible car in this movie.
That they use for like a scene, and then the action scene that they have to use it for, they instantly get rid of the invisibility.
Yep.
Budget's not that big, people.
It's
There was only one gadget in this movie that I really liked, and that was the ring.
the Sonic ring. It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not sure exactly how that wouldn't shatter every bone in Bond's hand.
It's a Bond gadget. I'm willing to give it a little.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna go out and say this right now. I think John Cleese's Q was unbearable in this. He gets one swing at this.
Yeah.
And it's like, where do you get off being introduced as the new guy and still get to be pissy with Bond at this point? Desmond Llewellyn earned 40 years of being pissy with Bond.
Yeah.
Earned it every second. Do behave, Bond. I never joke about my work, Bond. Please bring it back in one piece, Bond. He earned every second of that. John Cleese doing any of that and then just going into the closet of fan service was...
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it last time. John Cleese is a fine character for when you need John Cleese.
Right.
This was not his role.
Also, the virtual reality stuff.
Let's spend 3 movies making Moneypenny her own woman, and then have her go gaga over Bond in the last movie.
Exactly. Well, they were always kind of like playing footsie with each other, but that was just like... It's like, okay, yeah, that's exactly how we're going to end this series. And I'm fairly certain they weren't sure this was it for Brosnan.
Yeah. I mean, I always go back to like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
When Moneypenny says, as far as I know, Bond, you've never had me.
Yeah.
And now she's, let's have virtual sex.
That virtual sex on the desk. Q can find me because that's just where we're going with this.
And let's button back a shirt.
I feel like in this whole thing that this movie is, in my opinion, the worst of the Brosnan movies, for a number of reasons, which we've all laid out in great detail. We've even did the song early, by the way.
Yeah.
It's the culmination of the fact that out of every actor who has ever played James Bond, Pierce Brosnan was destined to play this character.
Yeah.
And he started high. And we've said this before, it's that sharp drop in quality that this turd is his swan song.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, View to a Kill isn't a great movie, and Roger Moore should have definitely hung it up after For Your Eyes Only, but it's still some fun stuff in there. It's still, it's still a goofy, fun Bond movie.
Yeah.
When you break that down, but this movie wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't. It just, I didn't get that same type of fanboy giddiness that I get when I watch a Bond movie, even bad Bond movies. I get everything, and I just feel like they just tried to add a few new things to the menu that just weren't going to work.
Rosamund Pike's very first movie, by the way.
It is her very first movie, and she looked phenomenal in this. I love your text from last night. Not that I'm complaining, but what's up with that outfit at the end? I'm like, yes, sir. Is that your sexy fencing outfit?
Yeah, she's got like a black sports bra, but it's like a topless sports bra.
It's cut in various areas. It's one strap. It honestly looks like wrestling. It looks like her wrestling gear. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Rosamund Pike, it works on her.
No one's complaining.
I just question its functionality in that scene.
Exactly, especially because they're fighting with real swords.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just can't with this movie. It really, it just hurts in so many ways, which makes next week's movie all the sweeter.
By the way, this movie, Zhao is also in it.
Oh yes, Zhao, the guy
Diamond
with the
face.
diamonds in his face, was also in it.
And Halle Berry keeps trying to kill him for a reason that nobody actually ever says.
Maybe she just doesn't like Korean people. I don't know.
No. I think she doesn't like diamond face people.
Oh, it's even worse. You know, the funny thing with that too is like I would expect that to be like now he is impervious to pain because when you punch him, you're punching diamonds because he's hard as a diamond now, and it's like nope, it's purely cosmetic, folks.
Let's kill him with a chandelier.
Yeah, a chandelier and then all the blood in the world.
Yeah.
I love that is a marker of a Bond death, just to show all the blood.
Yeah. Why not? Sure.
Oh.
I mean, it's just the thing about this movie, like with The World Is Not Enough. Watching it, I was like, this is just kind of a silly movie from start to finish. This one, I walked in expecting to hate it, and like for the first like maybe half hour, I'm like, there are things that aren't great, but I'm not hating this as much as I thought it would. Honestly, like, even through the island, I mean Jinx jumping off the
Yeah.
really bad CG, by the way. Her dive was just awfully looking, but like up until maybe like 45 minutes, I'm like, I was expecting to hate this movie more than I thought I was. I think it was the fencing scene that was like, all right, now it's kind of getting as bad as I thought it would be.
Our villain, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but up until that point, I was like, I was expecting to hate this movie more than I actually am right now. So I think that's why I'm kind of giving it a little bit more of an edge over World Is Not Enough.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
I mean, honestly, for me, it's like, here's Die Another Day. I mean, here's World Is Not Enough. Here's Die Another Day. It's like, it's
two tectonic plates that they're just touching each other. Just gonna ruin everything.
Marginally better, but it's like that was a really big piece of shit. This is a slightly smaller piece of shit.
Yeah.
They're both pieces of shit still, but one is just slightly better than another.
Well, that's Brosnan. So I'm interested to know, what are your thoughts on Die Another Day? Where does this rank in your Brosnans? Where does it rank in your overalls? Do you hate it as much as I did? What's your thoughts on that Madonna song? Because it's terrible.
That song is just awful in every single sense of the word.
And they bring it back at the end credits.
Oh, in this like weird electro dubstep remix. It was so bad.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it is. It's so bad.
I had
so
to
we want to
know. So bad.
We want to know your thoughts. Leave a polite comment below. Don't forget, if this is your first time watching, because you're such a huge Bond fan, please don't forget to subscribe. We do this every week. We got 5 movies left to go. They're all Daniel Craig's, which is interesting because the range and quality is not nearly as schizophrenic as the Brosnan movies.
Well, I can only speak for 3 of them at the moment, but yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, well, I think they're all on Netflix and Epix right now, and Amazon. So actually, they're all on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm been watching on Amazon.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I've been watching. I own Casino Royale on Blu-ray, but I've been watching that on Netflix because it's somewhat easier for me. Yeah. So anyway, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Tell your friends if they're Bond fans. Let them know, hey, these 2 idiots are talking about Bond. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Also, Mike and I host a little podcast called Geek Salad. You can check that out wherever you get your podcasts. Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, you name it, we're there. Don't forget to check out our Public Store, keyword Geek Salad Radio, or Geek Salad Podcast, and also check us out on the socials. Geek Salad Radio on Twitter, and Geek Salad Podcast on Facebook. So, until next time.
First off, two quick mentions. First off, it's my niece's birthday today, so happy
birthday. Mike.
And second, a big, huge congratulations to Mike Cicerone.
Yes.
Mike Cicerone.
Original Recipe Mike Cicerone is getting married this weekend. We are going to be dolled up. I will share pictures on Twitter because I have to. We're all going to be looking fine. I know Mike's wearing a suit. I'm wearing a tux because I'm the best man. We're going to have a grand old time.
I'm going to be wearing a suit provided I can find one. I don't wear suits very often.
Do you own a jacket and a tie?
I do. I found a sports coat, but I found like some, I don't know if they're dressy enough pants to like tan.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's what Kohl's is for, my friend.
And that's what John is for.
Yeah, exactly. No, take her to Kohl's. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, thank you. Next week, we'll talk to you next week when James Bond will return in Casino Royale. So until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth. Abby Nerdful. We'll talk to you later.